those, as I said, those stories that you have, I have personally, Toby has, people online have, people around the world. For me, that's the most important aspect of the pandemic over the last few years, and as we go forward, it's those individual stories. For me personally, those are very, very powerful. And in 2022, I think it was about June 2022, Sinetra, Alex and I got together to try and come up with a way, thinking of a way of collecting those stories. We wanted to develop a tool, a platform to allow people around the world, whether, as I said, whether it's you in this room, whether it's people online, anyone around the world, to record their story, to provide them a platform to have their voice heard, which for me was incredibly important and something that we've worked on for the last, I think, nearly a year. This is the culmination of that work. This is a platform that we have developed at CG to provide anyone around the world a platform to record their story. What's really interesting and I think powerful with this is not only does it provide a platform for people to record their stories, it also provides us a very useful platform to gather vast amounts of data about the impacts and about people's stories and about people's experiences across different countries, different time points during this pandemic. So we've developed this app. I say we. I have to put a call out to my brilliant team, the web designer and web developer, who've spent a lot of time working on this and working with us very collaboratively to create this tool. It's free to use, and it would be available on any platform. We've purposefully created it so that whether you're using a laptop, whether you've got a desktop, but also for developing countries, if you're using an Android phone or an iOS phone, you would be able to access this website and have your voice heard. The web app has effectively two primary functions. You can create your story. You have a create story function to allow people to create their stories, and I won't go through that process, but we have designed this with a variety of tags and categories so that people can actually start to filter their stories and their information. And those categories that we've included stem from Kevin's work that he presented to us yesterday, those 10 major categories. There are then multiple subcategories, and then there are multiple tags that you can add to your story. But what I wanted to do was really focus on the browse story, and particularly I want to focus on a particular story that has been already put onto the web app for us. So within the browse function, you can search by a variety of different options. You can search by topic, tags, dates, and as you navigate the app, the browsing stories will limit themselves. What we've done is categorize them, and you as a user, when you create your story, will provide a simple one category from very positive to very negative as your experience, and then those are put pins on a map. You can imagine a scenario maybe in 6 months where we have tens of thousands, I would like to think tens of thousands of stories and pins that people can navigate. You can navigate then by response, tag, or even just your region. You can see how people in your community coped with and were impacted by the pandemic responses. But I wanted to focus on this story. This has been quite an affecting story for me. I've spoken to both parties, both Tom and his mum, to get permission to talk to you about this. This is Tom's story. I'm not going to read Tom's story for you, but maybe you can pick up immediately. Tom's 12. Pick up immediately from some of the tagged adjectives that he has added about the fairly substantial impact that this has had on him. Now, Tom is 12. I suspect would have been maybe 9 to 10 at the time of the pandemic. And you can pick up some of the terms that Tom has used in this. It's very impactful and actually quite an upsetting story for me to read and have to digest. However, the very positive aspect, there are two very positive aspects that have come out of this. Tom told his mum, and she contacted me, that immediately this had quite a transformational effect on him. Firstly, he had a place that he could put his story, a voice. There were people out there who provided him a platform to have his say. He could unload this baggage that he had been carrying for 2 to 3 years. The next was a couple of days later when she contacted me to say that actually this had had a pretty substantial and transformative impact on him. He had said that this had been an incredibly cathartic experience. He had unloaded this baggage that he'd carried for 2 or 3 years as a 9, 10, 11-year-old child, and the impact that that had had on him during that time point. He felt that he was able to now let go of that and actually genuinely move on. That, for me, that story and his response to that is, if nothing else comes from that app, if we can provide that platform for people to have a voice, if we can gather data on the totality of those impacts, and we can give people like Tom a platform where he feels that he has a voice, where he can be heard, and then he can, hopefully all of us can, move on from maybe the last 2 or 3 years. That was the primary desire that Alex and Shanetta and I had a year ago. I will ask that you share this as widely as possible. I'd like a guerrilla movement where this is sent via every possible network, via every possible community, and we start to provide people a platform to have their say. But also, critically, what that does is it provides Collateral Global a huge source of data to be able to then look at the totality of impacts.